Hey, I'm Lee Kin from Sally's Book Talks. It's our weekly editor's pick, and we're back again. Traditionally, our editor's picks have centered around trending topics. For example, last week we covered a Game of Thrones theme, and before that, we've done laughing in the stock market and all as well. This week's pick is a bit different. We're talking classics. Next week, we'll unpack 6 books across literature, science, business, and more, all world changing masterpieces. This coming Monday, April 22nd, is Earth Day. So, that day, we're diving into the book that sparked modern environmental writing, Silent Spring. In the 1950s, many U.S. towns saw a silent spring, plants dying, dead fish in waters, and birds falling silent. Science writer Rachel Carson noticed this and launched a deep investigation. In 1962, Silent Spring was first serialized in the New Yorker magazine. The book was published that same year. Its findings on pesticide toxicity sparked massive public concern over pollution. Groups like the EPA, World Wildlife Fund, and Greenpeace emerged, and the UN passed key environmental treaties. It directly led to the US ban of DDT. Honestly, without Silent Spring, global eco-awareness might have been delayed decades. Yet, over the years, the books faced huge controversy and misunderstandings. Carson's hailed as the mother of modern environmentalism for changing history, yet blamed for food shortages and millions of deaths. So, what exactly did Carson write in Silent Spring? How should we view Carson's legacy today? This Monday, we'll explore the book's interpretation. Plus, if you're into environmental topics, we've covered books like the Pulitzer winning The Sixth Extinction, Tom's River, and Animal Liberation that transformed animal rights views. We've got links in the transcript below to take you straight to these books. All right, for Tuesday, we're bringing you Anna Karenina. Honestly, its classic status needs no explanation. Among all Tolstoy's works, this novel best showcases his mind and talent. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. So, what view of happiness does this famous saying reveal about Tolstoy? How do the fates and struggles of protagonists Anna and Levin mirror social realities and the author's own questions and thoughts? This Tuesday, let's step into Tolstoy's spiritual world together. For Wednesday, we're tuning into Balzac's Eugénie Grandet, often hailed as one of the finest in La Comédie Humaine. The old Grandet, the miser he portrays, is legendary. He'd lock himself up at night to fondle and admire his gold coins, imprison his own daughter over money, and even on his deathbed, stare at coins for hours. In Balzac's writing, money is often a central theme. For instance, in The Old Maid, he shows money disrupting traditional lifestyles and dismantling the aristocracy. In Pere Goriot, money corrupts the young, making them lose faith in ethics and morals. And Eugénie Grandet takes the dehumanizing effect of money to the extreme. So why was Balzac so fixated on this topic? And how does Eugénie Grandet showcase his incredible writing skills? This Wednesday, we'll dive into this book, and come Thursday, it's Kafka's masterpiece. In The Metamorphosis, the protagonist Gregor Samsa wakes up one morning as a giant insect, and that's where the story kicks off. Many folks discuss the metamorphosis by fixating on the transformation to talk about capitalist alienation. Basically, with private property and rigid job roles, humans as workers get treated like objects, and their labor becomes a commodity. This leads to loss of personal agency, suppression of individuality, and development that's skewed or twisted. But our take shows that alienation might indeed cause the protagonist's change. However, the novel isn't really about the transformation itself, it's about what happens afterward. Kafka uses this extreme event of transformation in the novel to question the meaning of family as a fundamental social model. And in modern society, what defines a person's social identity? soul or body, actions or words. After hearing about the metamorphosis, this Friday, we're bringing you David Copperfield by the British author Charles Dickens. In the preface of this book, Dickens wrote, "Like many doting parents, deep in my heart, I have a favorite child, and his name is David Copperfield." This book tells the story of a boy growing up through hardships. It's highly autobiographical and best reflects Dickens' rich inner world, humanitarian views, and moral stance. The novel's vivid descriptions show us real social life in England over a century ago, covering many social issues and the author's thoughts on them. Charlotte Bronte, author of Jane Eyre, once said, "Dickens' deep insight into human nature truly amazes me." After Dickens' novel, this Saturday we'll cover a business classic called Liar's Poker. This book has been a bestseller for 30 years and was named by Forbes as one of the 20 most influential business books of the 20th century. The Liar's Poker is actually a popular gambling game in the American finance world. It tests players' courage, willpower, and ability to bluff others. The book's author, Michael Lewis, learned this game while working on Wall Street. Friends who often listen to Sally's book talks should be familiar with Lewis's name. Um, he's a well-known American financial writer. We've previously covered his other work, The Big Short, which also centers on Wall Street. Lewis worked as a bond trader at Salomon Brothers, knowing many investment tricks and insider details. He uses Liar's Poker to symbolize the financial derivatives market, especially the mortgage-backed securities pioneered by Salomon Brothers. In the book, Lewis details how Salomon Brothers created this derivative to dominate the market, only to be consumed by it and decline from its peak. If you're fascinated by Wall Street dramas, definitely don't miss this book. Also, we've previously interpreted another business classic, Barbarians at the Gate, and some of its content overlaps with this book. You can click the link in the transcript below to go straight to Barbarians at the Gate and listen to both books together. All right, that wraps up the classic masterpieces we'll bring you next week. Next Tuesday, April 23rd, is World Book Day. Books are the ladder of human progress. We hope Sally's Book Talks will accompany your reading journey every day ahead. See you next week. 5. And